Hello everybody and welcome back to Fisk Family Homestead. And today has been kind of a busy, odd day trying to get some things done. Here I had some meatballs that were frozen from yesterday. I made them the size of my palm and I flash froze them. That way I could have some quick meals to just throw that on a pan and then throw it in the oven. My husband actually come over because he was hungry and wanted to see what we were having for lunch. So I had to tell him to hang on just a moment, that I was finishing putting the meatballs in the bags and in the freezer to save. And there you see what they look like. This was a little handy trick. Now, we have moved on to freeze drying, and so I bought some frozen organic peas from Costco, and I am putting them out on my freeze dryer trays. Here in a second, I will actually show you the mats that you can order with your trays. So it just helps the items not stick to the actual trays themselves, and I really like them. And so all I'm trying to do is just get the frozen peas on the tray. And these peas were so cold and my hands were starting to hurt really bad actually spreading them out. But we are getting there. So actually you can see here what the little floppy mats look like in the trays. I feel like they are a must-have for some of your items that you're going to freeze dry, so I'm really glad that we got them. So I'm still trying to get these finished up. And you want to kind of try to keep them in like a single layer. They seem to freeze dry better. So that's what I'm trying to do, and it really hurts my hands. So I'm trying to even the trays out the best I can, because I was rushing it a little bit, to be honest, trying to hurry and get stuff on there because I've had so many things going on today and I don't feel great as we have had this snowstorm. So I'm trying to hurry so I can actually get back off my feet and legs, because they tend to hurt a lot. So I actually used I think it wound up being a bag and a half of frozen peas from Costco, which I love putting frozen peas in soups and stews. So I really wanted to make sure I had some freeze-dried ones on the pantry shelf, because having freeze-dried food has really been a convenient way to make things faster for me when I don't feel good, to get something, warm and delicious on the table for my family. So I'm getting most of the trays done. We're going to speed this up a little bit and working a little faster now. We're on the second bag and I could not get it open. So I had to resort to getting a knife. My husband decides to come over and help me get it done a little bit. He was outside. He's been trying to make sure that the animals were okay, because we were in some really cold temperatures right now here in Oklahoma. So he's just checking our horses and chickens and all that kind of stuff, and the bunnies. So he's helping me get that out. Okay, so we're in here with the freeze dryer now. Yes, put those back in the freezer. We did not use both. We used like a bag and a half. How many pounds is in the organic frozen peas? We got it from Costco, and so they're 5-pound bags. And so we used, for 5 trays, because I have the 5 tray freeze dryer, we used a bag and a half. So anyway, so right now I'm going to turn it where you can see I have it. You have to start it, and it'll run for 15 minutes where it's cooling the vacuum chamber. And so it's best if you start with the food that is already frozen. So if I have something that I put on my trays that's not frozen, I will stick them in the freezer and pre-freeze them first. It helps your freeze dryer not run as long and work as hard. So because those were already pre-frozen when we got those, we just put them out on the trays, and I showed you in the video earlier, I had the mats that go in there, so it just helps protect the peas from sticking to the bottom. So anyway, we're just waiting for the 15 minutes to be up. It's only been going for 5 minutes, so we're waiting for the 15 minutes to be up, and it'll tell us to load the trays. I'll bring you back when we load the trays. Okay, so I thought I would talk to you for just a second while we're waiting on the chamber to finish getting to where it needs to be. We actually just ordered our incubator this morning so that we could start, raising our own baby chicks instead of buying them all the time. So we're really excited about that. The room that I'm actually standing in right now was another thing I wanted to tell you. This is our dining room, and I've kind of turned it into my freeze drying. It has some of my canning jars. So I'll actually just kind of turn you around. So when you walk in from our kitchen, which is right there goes Bub. Anyway, when you walk in from our kitchen, there's a hall right here that leads down to, that's a bathroom. And then my daughter's bedroom is back this way, and the other way is another living room, which we turned into our library. But as you come into the dining room, we have an upright freezer. We have like a little mini fridge, and that's where we keep like Zevia and sparkling water and extra milk, because we go to the dairy and buy raw milk, and then I freeze dry it and put it in Mylar bags, and I'll show you that video. Then we have just like a smaller coffin freezer, chest freezer. I grew up calling them a coffin freezer. And then over here we have a wood stove that will be moving into a different part of the house. It's not hooked up right now, so it'll be in a different part of the house. And come on around, this is where we're gonna have a sliding glass door that will go out onto the patio. But we have a microwave setting over here, which we really don't use a lot, because we don't really like microwaves, but we had it for when my mother-in-law lived and father-in-law lived with us. And so if you kind of come on around, I just have a little shelf here that's just got some knickknacks, extra stuff on it, not important stuff. And then I'm actually I have, these are bookshelves, but that's what I had for the moment. And up here I had my canners and everything, which they are actually moved over here to the table for now, because it was easier for me to pick them up off the table than to get them from the top shelf. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. Because my body hurts a lot, so having lupus, so we're trying to get things more organized to where it's easier for me. And so we are going to get some shelving here instead of having these bookshelves, which are going to go into the library area. So I just want some like metal shelving here to put some stuff on. And then the the freeze dryer, which you can see here, it is actually setting on a friend of ours. He got this given to him by his work, this shelving, and my husband just actually took, I don't remember what kind of board that is, but he put it across there. And so I have canning jars put there, and it was perfect for my freeze dryer. So we kind of turned this into, because we have 3 other tables in the house, which I will show you. And so we turned this into the hub, the freeze dryer hub, and extra freezers, and so that's made it nice. And then we use the other 2 tables in the house because we have like a breakfast nook, but it's in here by one of our wood stoves. And I'll take you in there and I'll show you that. I'll flip you around and kind of walk you through there where you can see a little bit kind of how we have things going here. Okay, so I'm actually in here by the freeze dryer. We're walking out. We're going into the kitchen area. There's Bandit, my dog. We do not have the island here finished, stained, or anything, but there's my husband, David. So, what are you looking for, babe? Honey? It's sitting right there on the counter.
I don't want that kind of honey.
No, it doesn't. That's just regular honey. The one does not have.
This one?
Yes, he's putting it in tea or coffee, and anyway, I have fermented garlic honey going over here on the counter, and I'll walk you around. We have dishes going in both sinks because I have a sink over here, and then I have the like farmhouse sink where we wash vegetables and stuff. And then here is my island. You can see this part is stained. We don't have this side done, but this part is stained. So, and then we're working back there on the laundry room. He's got it sheetrocked, but we don't have the door painted, the trim up. We don't have the laundry room painted. We don't have shelves in. We don't have that finished yet. So it's definitely a work in progress. And then this here is still got to be painted and everything. So if you turn around, you can see that's our living room area over there. Just some odds and ends that I keep, like popcorn and quick oats and things like that. So keep on that shelf, and that's my daughter's little Chihuahua's bed. So try to do this slowly. This area right here will also, it's a walkthrough to another walkthrough to the living room. This will actually have canning shelves in there, and I will take you to the one he's actually built me earlier and show you that one. We've had family come in, and so we've kind of got fruit and stuff everywhere, and I'll let you kind of see outside the window. We've got a snow stuff going on. The horse, oh yeah, the horses are right there at their hay bale. Well, they're not their hay bale, but they're flaked hay in there. So anyway, then we have a wood stove here in the kitchen. This wood stove has been here for actually a long time, but we're gonna move it and we're gonna put it in the living room. My husband is building, I'll take you in the living room and I'll show you, he's pushing the wall out, and we're gonna put this wood stove in there. And then I want like an actual wood cook stove here. And so this is kind of like the breakfast thing. Right here is going to be a door that goes out onto the deck that wraps around. And then this door over here goes out into the stairwell, which these are not, he's gonna take all this off and redo this, but this is a stairwell. We have 3 bedrooms and a bathroom upstairs. And then, like I said, the laundry room is not done. So, and we've been doing a bunch of laundry. So my washer and dryer is actually over that way. And this is one of my pantries. This is another one of my pantries. And then this is my canning pantry. See if I can open it up real quick. We have Christmas lights still up that we haven't finished yet, but I'm gonna step out here where my husband built it like really, really tall. Kind of show you that. And so then we have some of our canning in there. So, okay, so then we do a walkthrough, and I'm going into the living room. My plant was sad. It is watered. But this right here, that's all gonna be pushed out, and my husband's gonna raise the TV, and then we're gonna have our wood stove right here. So this will all be different. And there's my father-in-law actually sleeping. So you can see that we don't have all the trim up yet because he just finished this room. There was post that was actually right here, and he took all that out, and he actually put the beam that's right here. And so it's actually really pretty at night, but people has come in here and they've got coats laying here, and so that's what happens when you have a bunch of family come in, but that's okay. Okay, so we're back in here to the freeze dryer, and if you can see, I'm hoping you can see this, it says load trays into the freeze dryer and close the drain valve, which we've already closed the drain valve. So I'm gonna turn it where you can, there you go. Okay, so this is the locking door thing. So we're gonna open it up, and I'm gonna get all the trays. I know I'm out of the camera, but that's okay. I'm gonna get the trays loaded in here. Hey babe, can you bring me the last tray from the kitchen? David? And sometimes you have to kind of move it around just a little bit to get it in there. I got a tray over here. got one last tray in the kitchen. I'll be right back. Okay, I think my husband went outside with my daughter. Her rabbit have babies, and so they've got trying to keep everything warm and cozy for the rabbits. Okay, so then you just turn it, lock it, then it'll tell you to hit continue. So we're just continuing. Guess I didn't. My hands are cold. There we go. So now it says freezing. So that's gonna go for probably right at 24 hours. So yeah, so let's move on to our next project. Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna show you today is my bone broth, my chicken stock that we canned a few days ago. So now all I'm doing is taking my rings off, and I'm going to check the seal, great seal. I'm gonna label them, and I'm gonna get them in the pantry so they can be ready for any time we need to make soup or just a cup of good bone broth. So I'm gonna get this done, and I'm gonna call it a day for today. So I'll see you back on the next video.